Hello and welcome to today's walk. Today we are out here in the Santa Monica Mountains to visit a ghost town. So join me on today's walk as we go and visit, and also the first place into this little ghost town. And this was the first place in California to find oil. So let's take this road. And also there's a movie house that was used in a Disney movie, an old Disney movie. So let's continue on and I'll show you all this at the end of this road. All right, so here it is. It's called MENTRYVILLE. It's in Pico Canyon, Santa Clarita, Woodland Park. So as you can see, here's some of the buildings. We're gonna take a little turn over here, go around and then come back out this way. But yeah, MENTRYVILLE in Santa Clarita. All right, here they have a little monument thing, MENTRYVILLE. MENTRYVILLE was named after Charles Alexander Mentry, who drilled California's first successful commercial oil well in 1876. Was one of the first oil towns in the state. So this is the first one that they found in California. And here's the old little town right here. But they have it, and like I said, it's established in 1876. And here's a little welcome sign. And we're gonna head out this way, come around, and go to that side. So there is a parking fee area, and this is it right here. You after this sign, you can park over here. I'm not sure if it's $5 or how much it is, but once we get over to the area, I'll show you how much it was. Or you could park outside the gates, and you could just park out there for free. So let's continue on. So here they have a little information center telling you what safety, do's and don'ts, the flowers in the area, the animals in the area. And park closes from sunset to sunrise, and a little information on how to pay for your parking using MasterCard, Visa, Discover, American Express. And you can see back there, that's the location where it's at. So yeah, that they have all the information here, so you can check out the old ghost town. All right, so here's the parking fee, which is $5. You use the machine for your card, and I think you could put cash in also, but yeah, there's plenty of parking here. They also have, right behind that wall, they have a Andy Gump there too. So if you're out here. All right, so we're gonna start off at this house. This is the last one that's on this road right here. But as you can see, a lot of oil machinery and the rig right there to hold the oil, but a lot of old equipment for oil drilling, being that this was an oil little town. But let's get a little closer look at that house and some of the equipment here. So actually this right here is an old school, the Felton School. The Felton Schoolhouse was built in 1885 to accommodate more than 100 families living in Pico Canyon. Wow. Educating children up to the 8th grade. All right, let's get a little closer look. There's no way to really kind of go inside. All the windows are boarded up. And there's a outhouse. Oh, there's a lot of birds probably around here, in there. But yeah, there's the old outhouse. Oh, that's probably the boys and the girls right here. Here's another one. But yeah, here's the... And then there's like a little supply area. But yeah, there's no way to look inside. The old building. So right next to the school, they have all this equipment for the oil drilling, since this was like I said, an oil town. Pretty cool. And they had over 100 families that had their kids in the school, so that's quite a bit here. All right, let's continue down into that other area. Back over here where the school is, if you continue up that road, it takes you all the way to the top of those mountains. And there's probably a couple of oil drilling areas that you'll see. But we're gonna head into this town here. We're gonna start here at the movie facade house. And here's a look at it. And according to the information here, it was built back in the late 80s for filming Return to Green Acres. Wow, that's an old show. From made for television movie that aired on CBS in 1990. But this is a look at the Mentryville town. Yeah, that's pretty old. Here's a little closer look. And I'm sure if you look on YouTube and find those, oh, that scared me, it was a bird. Find the old shows. And I know that there was some Disney movie that used this house also. But I'm sure if you look up the Mentryville movie house, you'll be able to find the movies. All right, let's head on over to that big house over there, and let's take a look and find out what that one's all about. All right, welcome to Mentryville Pico Cottage. Completed in 1880. Wow. This was the home of the oil driller Charles Alexander Mentry from 1846 to 1900. So yeah, so let's it's definitely a big house. And you could tell you probably had the biggest house in this area. But let's take a closer look. There's some windows. And let's continue up these stairs. Now I'm hoping that Freddy Krueger or Jason don't pop out. Yeah, it's hard to see in there. But look at this deck. It's, you know, they've kept it up to so people can come visit this area. But yeah, this is definitely a pretty big house. Look at the old doors. And old houses, the doorways are really small. Oh wow, there's a little trap door over there. Should I dare Yeah, well, no, I don't want to know what's under that trap door. Gooey. But yeah, this is pretty nice. And you could see the main strip that this town had. And you know this was like the main area right here. Especially with this house right here. All right, a couple more buildings. Let's go check them out and continue on. So one quick last look at this house and how big it is. You could see how beautiful the white little fence, the little entry right there. And you can see all the different rooms in that house and how big he had it. And this is the barn. The Mentryville barn and chicken coop were built in 1890 to house the mules, horses, and chickens that were critical to the oil fields operation. The larger animals pulled the equipment and transported oil wagons to Newhall. Wow, so that's an oil wagon, the one we seen earlier, but here's a little shed. Looks like a chicken coop over here. Let's get a little closer and take a look at that chicken coop. Yeah, a little hen house. Oh, that's awesome. The water and their little hen house over here. And the chicken wire. That's awesome. And then here's where they probably, oh, let's see. You can see in that window. Oh, they're holding equipment in there, old. But yeah, that's probably where they had their horses and mules. So that's the barn. So they have the barn here. They have the Mentryville home, the movie house, the shed, the school. And like I said, if you continue further up the hill, you'll find like one or two of the oil drilling. They have the first one up there. But yeah. All right, so that was our walk out here at Mentryville, the old oil town, ghost town. And I really enjoyed that big house. I wish I didn't have the guts to go into that room where that door was, just in case Michael Myers pops out, or Freddy Krueger. Nah. But it's a free place to visit. If you park right outside these gates, it's free. Further, as you go into the town, and I showed you that parking, $5, but it's free to come. There's definitely, if you follow the road, you continue, you go all the way up and hike, and man, you get some beautiful views up there. Not ready to do that just yet, but it is coming. I'll show you what the views are from way at the top of Mentryville. So thank you for joining me. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time.